Hey guys. Today's been a really bad day. This is the second time I've done this post because um I did the first vid post just ranting. I mean, that's that's pretty much the way the day has been. I just went off about workplaces in general, but um today was unique. Uh First of all, they switched our AC off about 2 days ago and switched it over to heat, which it's about that time of year, but we're used to it happening a little later in October. But they decided to jump the gun on us. And we still have pretty warm days. I mean, not uber overly warm, but still pretty warm. So you can guess sleep is probably not that great for my poor husband. Well, yesterday I stumbled in the door and he was just wiped, and the kiddos were wiped. I mean, it was a rather warm day, and he didn't get any sleep. So he called in, and I mean, he had a little card and everything. So he called in, going, "Well, I'm not going to make it in tonight." Blah 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 blah. And he called both the company he works for and the temporary agency who hired him in. So today, while I was gone, he got a phone call, which of course he didn't answer because he's sleeping for work. It's a little bit cooler day, so he opened up the windows in the house and let a breeze come through. And he was asleep when they called to tell him that he got 5 points. Now, this was a surprise to him, considering that he went to two interviews with two different people, took a test, got an employee manual that doesn't have anything about this in it, spoke with yet another person, uh, talked with the manager at the place where he was working, worked a whole week, days, and has been working there for a month and a half and hasn't heard anything about a point system. But supposedly he's got five of them. And when he called back today, after I came home, and he looked at the phone, was like, "What, missed call?" And he looked at the phone and called them back, the temp agency he's going through, and said, "I have 5 points." "Well, if you bring in a doctor's note, you'll only have three. But you have five if you don't." And he says, "How many points do I have?" To which the lady replied, "I don't know." Which is so cute. I mean, you tell him you have 5 points and you don't even know what the point system is. That's awesome. So my husband could lose his job because he called in for one day. That's how companies do things nowadays, but that's okay. This is a job where my husband is getting paid entry level pay as a welder, which he's done for 7 years. And he's doing a fitter's job, which is, by the way, $4 to $7 more. And he is doing quality job for them, which you can tack on another $2 to $3 to what a fitter makes. So he's doing three jobs for the lowest common denominator. A lot like what I was doing at my last job. A lot like every job we've had the last 15 years. A lot like every job we've had, especially going through a temp agency, the last 15 years. Because that's all there is in this town. That's all right. My day was even better. So I understood that, at the end of it all, the GMs or the manager's going to talk to us. Okay, no problem. I did not know that meant that the manager was going to be re-interviewing us for a job that I think I already have. I interviewed. From what I understood, I was hired. I then spent 2 days training for a job that I was hired for. Only to discover, no, the first interview was to see if I was eligible for the training. then I would be hired. You know what? If they call me tomorrow and tell me I'm hired, I'm going to tell them to fuck off. Because that is 3 different things they've lied about. Also, supposedly, we don't do cold calls or prospecting or anything like that. I mean, it's car dealership. They come into you. No, they still expect you to prospect. So I got lied to. Third thing, and what really gets me, is one of the first rules is don't judge a book by its cover. Well, it seems they can't even do that properly. They can't even read what's between the lines, because there's 3 different times when the guy who's training made an assumption about me, and he was wrong. Yeah. And each one was more insulting than the last. And of course, there's the whole, there's still so much misogyny that even the guy who's training us seems to think that, oh, well, you know how women are, chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. And he's the guy who insists on hiring women. So basically, I've wasted 2 days worth of time. Spent $180 on clothing and shoes. For a job that I still have to compete for, like I signed on for fucking Iron Chef. Now, if I wanted to be on a reality program and compete with 2 or 3 different people to be considered best of the best, that's what I'd fucking do. I thought that I was hired. No. I had my interview today, and I'm going to tell you what. I already know my interview went well, but here's the thing. It doesn't make a difference how well my interview goes. And I know this, because not only has this place lied to me 3 times before I even have been hired, which was news to me until today, but there were 3 people in that room who were younger than me. Way younger. As in, I have about a decade and some change on all of them. Yeah. So I already know they're going to be hired automatically right off the bat. It doesn't make a difference how well they interview. I already know my interview went well. But I'm 37 years old. Give it about 5 years. I'll definitely look like I'm 40. And because I'm no longer what they deem as pretty, I'll no longer be able to sell a car. Whereas you can have some fat dude over here who obviously ate his weight in cups, who ate donuts first, that it doesn't make a difference what he looks like. But they sure do care about what I look like. So that job that I thought that I had, selling cars, I don't. Or at least I was supposed to find out either tonight or tomorrow whether or not I had the job. Most likely I'm going to tell them to shove it. Even if I do get it. Because I don't like being tricked. I also don't like wasting my time. And training for something that I'm not going to get, potentially, is a waste of my time. I am too old to have my fucking chain yanked. And this is what happens a lot nowadays. Whether you are interviewing for jobs or you are sending out resumes or, because you can't walk into any place anymore and fill out paperwork to get hired. Everything has to be done online. Nobody knows how to interview. Human Resources doesn't even interview you. That's what temporary agencies are for, or some poor schmo who works the bottom rung of the ladder who doesn't know what the hell it is you're supposed to be doing. Because HR doesn't know what it is you're supposed to be doing. Nobody knows how to do their job anymore, but if you happen to be the lowest level of worker, they expect you to know what it is they want you to do. And they expect you to do that, plus about 4 other jobs. But you're only getting paid for the job you were hired for. See, I'm 37 years old. I have been working since the age of 17. I've been working for 2 fucking decades. I am too damn old to be jerked around. I am too damn old to be treated like a corporate plaything. And that's exactly what they get, and they wonder why nobody cares. I'm still stupid enough to give a shit about my job. Whatever job I take on, I'm still dumb enough to actually care about it. But most of these young punks don't. But then again, most of these young punks also don't remember a day when you didn't get a drug test, credit check, background check, and had to do just one job or one set of pay. Most of them are used to cross training and getting paid the lowest for doing 5 jobs, the highest of which makes about $5 to $7 more than you do at the lowest pay. Most of them don't remember that. I do. I remember the days when you drug tested if you worked with construction, any type of heavy industrial machinery, any type of contract job. That's when you drug tested, because you're going to be working with equipment that requires you to not be fucked up. The only time you got a credit check done was when you are working in an industry that deals with money, as in you actually have your hands on it, or you are working with it in a computer or in a ledger. So they want to know what your credit is. Criminal background check is something that came in about 15, 20 years ago, and it was popular in some places, but not so popular in others. But as, of course, the age of the internet came about, it became a little bit more popular. See, I remember those days. Now all 3 of these are a major requirement. And it's used to discriminate against you. I don't care what anybody says. I do not have a criminal background whatsoever. There's just, yeah. I'm not in the habit of going around committing crimes. I always pass a drug test. But when my credit was in the toilet, you'd be amazed how often I didn't get hired. I hate to tell you, the people with the perfect credit, those are the ones I'd watch. Because why do you have perfect credit, and why do you want to work for $9.25 an hour with perfect credit? There's something wrong with that. They don't catch that. Most corporations aren't smart enough to be able to see that beyond the end of their nose, or even tie their shoelaces and chew gum at the same time. And they're getting what they pay for. Now, if I get hired into something, I'd rather work the one job. And you know what? You're going to get what you pay for. And I might take on 1 or 2 because I'm just stupid. And I've always been stupid. And it's people like me who've made it to where the industry can hire somebody in and have them work 4 or 5 jobs for the lowest common denominator. Because people like me are dumb and don't insist on, well, if you want me to do this extra job, you're going to pay me $1 or 2 more. That's how my husband used to always do it. You want me to do these jobs, you're going to have to pay me something. Because you hired me for this. This is what I'm doing. If you want me to do something else, that's what I need to be doing exclusively, and you need to pay me for that. But people like me are always, oh, I'll go ahead and take that on and add it in. It's no problem. So people like me have created the environment that, unfortunately, corporate now wallows in. And it's really, really sad because the people above you generally don't know what it is you're supposed to be doing because they've never done a lick of work in their life. Or if they have, when they got up there, their tie got so tight and the air so rarefied, they lost all oxygen to their brain. And have consequently forgotten how to do anything beyond collect their paycheck, harangue the people below them, and go home 2 or 3 hours earlier than anybody else after they come in 2 or 3 hours later than everybody else. That's your modern working day world. But once again, I'm going off on a rant because I'm pissed off. Today was a bad day. Finding out that I'm supposed to be in competition and I'm not actually hired and wasting 2 days that could have been spent job searching is kind of aggravating to me. Needless to say, during my lunch break, I hopped up on my phone and went to Career Builder and put in a couple of applications, and I actually got a call back from one of them, and it only pays $11.47. It's administrative, something I could probably do in my sleep, but it pays, and it's 9 to 5. I'm still looking for hubby for general maintenance. One of the companies that he was supposed to go for is supposed to call him back at some point in time, and his will still be an 11 to 7 job, which is what he wants, and it pays better and would give him, of course, the same hours, and that's what we're looking into right now. So it may be that the end of this week turns out like we hope it will, but today was just a major source of aggravation. Today was just a stupid day, and I walked away completely angry. Um, After our training was done, and our training was done at like 3 o'clock, and we were told we were going to be interviewed. I was there for another hour and a half with nothing to do, waiting for some guy to interview me for 15 freaking minutes. He walked in at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And from what I'm guessing, he was going to leave at 7. Of course, he's upper management, so he can afford to do that. And he's going to tell me about the hours and yada, yada, yada. And I'm sitting there going, yeah. Whereas I sat here for an hour and a half and wasted time waiting for you to get your ship pulled together to come do what you were supposed to do, and you knew that you were supposed to do long before you even walked in the door. So I got my time wasted all around the day, and I was very, very angry when I left. So even on the very, very slim chance that they tell me, oh, you're hired, I'm probably going to tell them to fuck off. I'm probably going to go for something that pays $11.47 an hour a fuck lot faster. Because at least with the job description I got, I know what it is I'm getting paid for. And I know that if I'm hired, there's a chance I can get paid $2 or $3 more to do the exact same job. I think I'll go with that. Because I prefer not to be lied to right out the gate. Just like my husband right now would prefer to have somebody tell him about whether or not there's a point system. So I'll be letting you guys know what's going on with that. I was a little bit too lazy to type all this up. But needless to say, I'm probably going to leave comments off because I'm not exactly the best company here right now. I'm kind of infuriated. But if you still want to talk to me or anything, you know, my email, you can PM me. You guys know how to reach me. I just kind of need to vent a little bit and get this all off my chest. And most likely I'll be closing this and doing some more job hunting. But while I sit over here and stew in my own miserable, furious little juices, just know that I'll be trying to catch up, and I will be answering comments and emails and checking up on you guys soon. Know that I love you all, and take good care of yourselves, and take good care of each other.